I've got all three brand new Pixels before they even hit stores. I'm gonna give you the real lowdown that nobody wants to tell you, and I won't waste your time. I'll check out the new hardware, break down if it's worth an upgrade for you, and stick around to the B side, the big secret that nobody wants to say out loud, and I'm just gonna say it. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. Take a look. Here are the three new models, the Pixel 11, the Pixel 11 Pro, and the Pixel 11 Pro XL. Each comes in typical Google packaging, a USB-C charging cable. That's it. Check out some of the colors here. I got the Pixel 11 in frost, the 11 Pro in olive, and the Pixel 11 Pro XL in canyon. And I gotta say, I dig all of these three colors, and while canyon wouldn't be my personal choice, it's a little too pink for me, it definitely pops, and I can see that being a popular color. So let's talk about the design of the new Pixel phones. They did not break new ground here. They did not break the mold. The design is nearly identical to the Google Pixel 9 and 10 series, just different enough that you probably will need a new case. The camera bump is slightly larger, but visually they look very similar to previous Google Pixel models. I did put my Pixel 10 Pro case on the Pixel 11 Pro, and it seemed to fit just fine, even though it's not supposed to. I'm just throwing that out there. Your experience may vary, so tread lightly. Now, the biggest difference is inside of these phones. You've got brand new Google Tensor G6 chip. That's the brain inside the phone, more processing power and more AI power. Now, otherwise, the specs haven't really changed all that much at all. The screens are identical to the Pixel 10 series, according to Google's comparison page. The cameras are also the same as the previous models as well. The Pixel 11 Pro has a 50 megapixel wide camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 48 megapixel telephoto zoom lens, and a 42 megapixel selfie camera. The base model Pixel 11 gets somewhat lesser specs when it comes to cameras, but they are the same as the Pixel 10 base model. One hardware change on the Pro models that I do want to point out is something called the highlight. See that little white dot there next to the cameras? Yeah, it works as your normal flash as well, but it can now spit out more than just white light. In highlight mode, it can turn rainbow color to let you know that Google Gemini is working when you say your Google wake word, which I won't say right now because I don't want to tick you off, and I certainly don't want to wake up all your devices. You can also set different colors for different contacts. For example, you can have it turn yellow when mom calls, blue when your friend calls, pink when your girlfriend calls, etc., etc., which is cool, but I do want to point out I had that feature on a flip phone back in 2005, so I'm just saying it's not necessarily groundbreaking. But that's kind of it. A lot of talk about this new light on the back, but if I'm being totally honest here, I kind of expected it to do more, and it really doesn't. I'm guessing we'll see more functionality in future software updates. Speaking of software, that's where a lot of the new Pixel changes shine. Some new Gemini-powered additions to this phone, and here are a few of my favorites. First of all, Magic Capture. This is inside the camera app, and the concept here is that you hold up your phone just like you're recording a video. Simple enough. Gemini AI will analyze what you're pointing your camera at and record both video clips and take photos, capturing the moments that matter the most. At least that's the thought, and it seems like a cool idea. It did work well in my minimal testing, and I could see this being super useful for something like a kid's birthday party. You don't want to be distracted, you just want to hold your phone up, but you're still going to stop, get Johnny and all his friends together, and take a normal group photo. So I'm kind of curious how much people will actually use this feature. As much as it is cool, is it actually going to be useful? Also, inside the camera app is something called Looks, which essentially applies a filter to your photo as you take it. Is it just me, or do normal people not use filters on their photos? I mean, it's fun to throw a filter on a photo, to post it up on Instagram, but I'm not gonna take all of my photos with a vintage filter. I don't know. Seems like a fun idea, but will you ever use it? That's the real question. But I'll tell you what, I will use the improved night sight, which, if you don't know, is Google's super dark light camera mode, which is now said to be much faster, and when I tested, it definitely is faster. It takes great photos in very dark scenarios with much less waiting time than previous Pixel phones. It was a killer feature already, and it's even better now. So these are just a few of the new software additions to the Google Pixel 11. Most of them are based on Gemini AI, which isn't a huge surprise. Google, Apple, Samsung, they're all going all in on AI tools on our phones. And here's my problem with that. AI tools are sometimes tied to specific phones, but not usually. And frankly, they shouldn't be. Most of these features will roll out to the previous Google models, the Google 10 models specifically, eventually, and may even make it to other Samsung phones or other Android-based phones. So if you have a Google Pixel 10, it begs the question, is it worth an upgrade to the Google Pixel 11? Frankly, I don't think so. Unless you just love to have the latest and greatest and you hate money, the 11 is a very similar phone with a newer, faster processor, yes, a bunch of fun AI software tricks that will probably make their way over to the Pixel 10 eventually. If you're on a Pixel 9 though, I do think this is a great upgrade. You're 2 years into your 9 and it's a good time to still get some value for your trade-in. Which brings me to the B side of my video, and I feel like nobody wants to say this out loud, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Yes, this is an awesome phone. Yes, this is the best Pixel yet, but it's just another Pixel. Same design, no mind-blowing features, no mind-blowing hardware changes, but just enough new software tweaks, the new highlight feature on the back, and a slightly better processor to make this make sense, to make it the 11. I'm not blaming Google here. Their problem is industry-wide. Phone hardware has gotten so good. It's amazing. And so it's really hard to iterate a lot when it comes to the hardware side of things. We're literally running supercomputers in our pockets with amazing screens, amazing cameras, so naturally most of the advancements are going to be on the software side of things. And frankly, those advancements come to many phones and throughout the year, not just in August when Google decides to release a new phone. So with that said, I want to reiterate, this is the best Pixel yet, no question. It's my recommendation if you're shopping for a new Android phone. Right now, this is the phone that I'm using as my daily driver in my pocket, and it likely will stay that way. It's just not the mind-blowing, game-changer, earth-shattering phone that some people might have wanted. Frankly, it's exactly the Pixel 11 that many of us expected. So, are you in? Comment below. Are you buying one, or do you think you'll pass on it and wait till the Pixel 12? Comment below and do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow here on YouTube. I've got a lot more cool tech reviews coming your way. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.